Right, guys, this is what I'm currently taking as camp kit. All at the moment goes in the Oxford T50 bag. Largely, this is what I took to Norfolk. However, I have changed one thing actually, which is the cook set. So I'll start off with the sort of cook set. So this time I'm going to be taking the Jetboil. As I've indicated in a previous video, I tried out using an alternate way of doing it, thinking it was going to be lighter and better packed. Actually didn't turn out that way. Neither any lighter or better packed. So I'm going to take the Jetboil on this little trip. I'm sure everybody knows about the Jetboil, but if you want to know more information, just ask me. So what I've got is the Jetboil. I have the lamp, which is the one it's indicated as Luminade. So that's a lamp which is flat pack and blows out to extend into a lamp, and works really well. It gives you a very bright light, which I might be able to indicate tonight. Or you can have it dimmed down just for background light. In fact, you can have it flashing as well if you wanted. I don't know why, but I suppose if it's you're trying to attract attention if you're wild camping. But anyway, it's a solar powered one, but you can recharge it with a USB. And then I have just some usual bits, very basic stuff, but this is the cutlery. So I've got knife, fork, spoon, in there, a tin opener as well actually, and the little bag here is just a sponge which is impregnated and soaked in fairy liquid, or alternates are available, just so I can get a bit of a wash up when I get there with any dishes I do use. This is clothes washing liquid, and that's a Sea to Summit clothes line, which I haven't used yet, but to be honest, if you are doing extended trip, and the week down in Norfolk almost got to that point I really did need to do something, it's so light and small that it's worth taking anywhere. I've got a collapsible dish which I'm still going to take on this occasion. I've got a flat pack water bottle, and that's brilliant, that absolutely great piece of kit. And because I like fresh coffee, although it's debatable whether I'm going to take any of this if I went travelling, flat pack coffee pot, and that's best shown when it's actually being used. It's brilliant. If you like coffee, it's brilliant for the size that you're having to take. So really that's my kitchen sort of wear. Coming across, the tent I'm taking today is a Nature Hike one. It's a single man tent, but quite a roomy single man tent, but although I've done a video showing it erected and looking at the quality in that, I've never used it, so that's going to get a use this next couple of nights, and we'll sort of see if it survives, because the forecast is pretty wet on occasion, so it'll be a good test for it. The tent that I used for my last trip was the MSR Elixir 2, which is a more roomy tent. But I wanted to try this one, and also this is packs down lighter. Total weight with the ground sheet of that one there is about, I think, 1.5 kilogram. The MSR must be around about 2 something. It's not a big deal, and to be fair, the MSR has a lot more room. I think if you're certainly doing travelling into the 2 or 3 months, I think just as a feel, the MSR would be the one. The Helinox chair I had with me on the last trip, although I didn't have it in its bag. So anyway, I've put it back in its bag, and I'm going to take it, but it's a real debate as to whether to keep using it certainly on a long distance trip. And I've actually bought this little mat, just a basic little foam mat. It literally only cost me £2.50 at Go Outdoors. They seem to be selling stuff off, so anyway, £2.50. And the reason I've got that, I'm not sort of trying to add to my gear, but what I found with not having the luxuries of a carpet in my tent, which is just a picnic rug and things like that. And the airbed, to use it correctly, you need to keep only just the right amount of air in, which is fantastic for sleeping on, but not for sitting on. I just felt in the tent I could just do with something just to sit on if I have to sit in the tent. And the next few days I think there's going to be a bit of bad weather, so I've got that just for that purpose. So I'll see how it works, and if I continue with it, I'll continue. If not, it'll go in the garage to Neil. The Polar jacket is it's really brilliant. I've used that well over a year now, and I didn't use it while I was away my last trip to Norfolk because it was relatively warm. But you do, even right in the middle of summer, you can still get really cold nights, and if you're sitting out, that is fantastic. It's about, I think it was about £65, but it would squeeze down to about half of that if I used a different bag. However, it fits in, and it's squeezed, so it's that's good. I'd probably take that everywhere I go. Well, the infamous pee bottle on the left. Still thinking about that, and flip-flops, which is mandatory for camping, I reckon. Last time I took some lightweight shoes, very lightweight shoes, but the weather's going to be a little bit iffy this time, so I'm taking these boots, the lightweight boots, but the boots. So that's a little bit extra bulk, but to be honest with you, I think the weather's going to be crap, so I'll probably need them. And then just coming back across to here, this pile is just the clothes that I'm going to use. Well, not use, the clothes that I'm going to camp and travel with for any trip. Obviously subject to the country you go to. So if it's Norway towards the end of season, then I'd probably put some extra warm stuff in. If it was Morocco, then I'd maybe, I'll just go with what I've got probably. So I've mentioned this before, but I have one pair of motorcycle long johns. That's not so much for the bike, but that's if it got cold at night. I just like the comfort of having that extra degree of comfort. So I'll have 3 pair of underpants, one of which I'll be starting off the journey with, so 2 packed. I'll have 3 technical shirts, short sleeve technical shirts, of which 2 will be packed, and I have a technical long sleeve shirt which allows to layer up a little bit, just like the walking and anything else you do in that way. A pair of running shorts which act as swim shorts as well, and those zip off bottom of the leg type trousers that you can use as long trousers or shorts. So they all go in the bag there, and that compresses down to next to nothing once you take the air out. And then finally my sleep kit, which goes into this yellow bag, and that yellow bag also acts as the inflator for the airbed. So it has a nozzle on the end, and you just inflate the bag, and I'll show you that because I'm going to do a review on that bag. It's a really good one. I've had all sorts, and I've still got all sorts of sleep arrangements, and that is probably, well, actually it's not the most expensive, but it's probably the best one for me so far for getting asleep. So as you can see there, the grey bag is the sleep kit, and in that bag you got the Trekology Luft UL80, which is the one with the curvature on the sides. I've got a Trekology blow-up pillow, and they're really brilliant. I've had that longer than the mat, and a pillowcase which bulks it out a little bit, but the pillowcase just gives it that little bit more comfort, I think. I suppose you could ditch that, but to be honest, I've got plenty of room anyway, I reckon. So sleeping bag is just a cheap lightweight one. It's a rectangular bag, not a mummy. And my toilet bag, which I did suggest in a previous video, I might bin and just put stuff a little bit more thrown in, but at the moment I'll just stick with it. The towel, which is just one of those typical Trek towels, works okay actually, and the toilet roll, which is just an emergency toilet roll for travelling, just because you never know. So when you look at the kit, laid out, you know, it looks doesn't look too bad, but I look at it and think, oh, that looks a lot. But when you get it packed in the bag, it all just goes in and compresses down and fits really well. So I'll show you in a minute the bag actually with all this gear in, and then you know, at least you've seen what I take. Everybody to their own, of course, but I'm getting quite comfortable with this this setup. The only things that I might not take at some stage in the future is the Helinox chair, the pee bottle, the toilet bag. Obviously I'd have to make some other arrangements for that, and possibly not any of the cooking gear, depending on what I'm doing. So if you look at that, then it's virtually down to nothing. Anyway, that's the lot, and I'll just show you the bag with it all in.